Why a balloon? Why a balloon satellite? I mean, there was like a video of it. It's like this, like literally like a white balloon floating in the air with a
I like
satellite.
that. I like the meme you sent me. The meme you sent me is hilarious.
Weather balloon.
Weather balloon.
Totally not for
Totally not.
flying.
Welcome back to another episode of Stay Oriented Podcast. My name's Casey. I'm joined by my brother.
Carrie, what's up, comrades? How's everyone doing?
I like your handle, Chairman Carey. At one point, you thought about doing Comrade Carey. I thought that was actually pretty catchy.
Yeah, but like Comrade Carey's a little, I don't know. Chairman sounds better.
Yeah, it sounds more boss. I kind of wanted to start off today by talking about my favorite sports team of all time, and it's a little recognized sports team, I would say, in the world of sports, because it's a smaller market city, and it's the basketball team of the city, I guess, and it's lesser known than the Dallas Cowboys. It's the Dallas Mavericks that I'm talking about, and for some reason, Dallas Mavericks have never gotten like the recognition I felt like they could have achieved. I mean, from the Dirk days,
aside from
and like
their
the championship,
yeah.
Yeah, but like even when like Dirk had like Finley and Nash, I was like, man, they're a really good team, but like they just don't get that the mainstream recognition.
Yeah, we were never able to ever attract like really big superstars to the Mavericks.
Yeah, well, that changes today. It changed today. So I guess the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Kyrie Irving has officially been traded to the Dallas Mavericks. So Luka Doncic has a running mate, a sidekick, as they call it.
But who is the sidekick, though? I guess that's the question. I guess the question that people are wondering is if they would, play cohesively together, because they're both big superstars.
I mean, I would say Kyrie's the sidekick, even though Kyrie's been around longer, and he's like the bona fide superstar, been to more All-Star games, he's won the championship. I still think that Luka's the number one star because I think he's got the bigger contract. He's got more votes for the All-Star game. Bigger numbers, and probably more reliable too in the long run because he's younger. Kyrie's older, so if he signs a contract, I feel like it's going to be a smaller contract than what Luka would sign.
So how does it work though? So I know Kyrie was basically telling the Nets like, "Hey, if you guys don't trade me," because basically he was trying to sign an extension with the Nets, and
he wants money. I think so. Kyrie's, I think, in the stage of his career where maybe he wants to win a championship, and he's in a good position. The Brooklyn Nets, they're in a relatively good position to win a championship. You're playing with Kevin Durant, and they're 31 and something. Like they're 30 and 20
their
record. Like they're pretty good. They're up there.
Yeah, except for whenever KD got injured, and then it kind of slid off a little bit, But
we're assuming he'll come back. Well, he'll come back for the playoffs, right? Like you want the team to be as healthy as you can going into the playoffs, and that's every team's goal. So it's like it's not different from team to team. Like he was in a good winning position, and so to me, it doesn't seem like he's prioritizing winning championships as much as he is trying to get money.
Well, I think he got insulted by the Nets, so they were trying to negotiate an extension, and basically, the Nets came back, and they were either the ball was in the Nets' court. So Kyrie and his agent were like, "Hey, we want to stay in Brooklyn long term. These are the terms we want. I don't know, whatever that was said." And then the Nets came back and were basically telling Kyrie, like, "Hey, your extension's going to be contingent on if the Nets win a championship." Basically, is what they told him. So I think, so I think that kind of insulted Kyrie, like he just wasn't happy with that answer. And so Kyrie was like, "Hey, trade me by the deadline or else I'm just going to walk during free agency." So that leads me to the question, does the Mavericks basically just take over that contract? Like he's still going to be a free agent by the end of the year? Okay.
Yeah. So when he comes over to the Mavericks, he's on his last
Which is
like
kind of
last
scary.
year.
That's risky for the Mavericks to do.
I don't know. If there's stipulations now that he's been traded. I wonder if there's stipulations in the sense of like, can he walk at the end of this year? Because he didn't. Mavericks didn't sign him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when he gets traded, I wonder, because like that would be a really stupid, risky move by the Dallas Mavericks.
Because like, what if he's not happy?
Trade for a player that's known to be like, I'm not happy here. I'm going to demand a trade.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically trade for a player that's on his last year of contract and be in a position where he can walk again. You know, like last year, Jalen Brunson, who basically was playing at an all-star caliber, reliable number 2. Dallas Mavericks let him walk because they didn't want to pay him the money. They didn't think he was worth it. And now Dallas Mavericks are paying the price of that decision because they completely suck without him. And even though Luka's putting up numbers, they can't win. He can't win alone. And so now they're bringing in someone to replace exactly what Jalen Brunson does well, which is score and run plays, because he's a point guard. So is Kyrie Irving's a point guard. Seems like they're finally like listening to what fans have been saying, like, hey, aren't you going to replace Jalen Brunson in the offseason? And they're like, nah, we're going to add Christian Wood. We're going to add a big, and we're not going to handle the point guard situation. Well, we'll let, the other point guards that we already have in rotation play up to the standard that we need them to be. And I'm like, most fans were like, I don't think you're going to see that result. Now they're needing to trade assets, valuable assets too. Like Spencer Dinwiddie was pretty good for the Mavericks.
I think he's going back to the Nets, right? Because he was there.
Yeah, he was there before.
He first started, And they also traded
think,
like a 2029 draft pick or something and a second round, like a first.
Yeah, we're dishing out a lot of assets. So we lost Finney Smith, who's a great defender and I think the best defender and a 3-point shooter, and then draft picks. Yeah, so we're trying to do the all in now, make Luka Doncic happy now. Yeah. So that we can win now.
I hope these two can get along because I do like Kyrie, and it was funny because
you have a Kyrie. Go ahead.
Yeah, when we went to the Mavs game on Christmas against the Lakers, I don't have any Mavs gear, so I'm actually a big Boston Celtics fan. I love the city, and
boo.
I like
coming from Los Angelino.
Yeah, I absolutely do not like the Lakers. I despise the Lakers. I don't like LeBron either, so it's kind of like a double hate,
For sure. But, same. I've never liked LeBron, and the fact that he came to the Lakers, I'm like, ugh. I hate the Lakers.
I'm a Boston fan, and also I like the Mavs too. Like I was a big Dirk fan, but I have like my East and Western teams, but I kind of like to go against the grain. So everyone here's a Dallas Mavericks fan, so I like to just pick another team that I root for. But I do like the Mavs. So I have like my Eastern Conference team, which is the Celtics, and then my Western team, which is the Mavs. And I do have a Kyrie jersey from the Celtics, which is also funny because the Celtics hate Kyrie. The fans do, at least.
Yeah, that's true. They always boo him when he plays.
Yeah, they have a little beef
in the Garden.
but like the players are still cool with him, so it's kind of whatever. But anyways, I wore my Boston Kyrie jersey to the Lakers and Mavs game, and now Kyrie's actually he's in the Mavs. So it was kind of ironic and funny. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens.
Me too. I'm nervous because, so like you said, he's in his last year of his contract. I'm not sure if that means he can just walk at the end of the year because like we're gonna try and sign him again, and he can just have the lot to choose from. Like I want to go there. I want to go here. I'm not sure about that situation there, but what I did read about earlier was that the Lakers was his preferred destination.
Really?
And basically,
is that what Kyrie said, or
this is what the article was saying?
Okay.
Could be rumors. I don't know, but this is what the article was saying. The article was saying playing with LeBron and the Lakers was his preferred destination. That Joe Tsai
didn't want him at the Lakers.
He didn't think that what the package that the Lakers could give him was equivalent to what he was parting with in Kyrie Irving, and that Mavericks, was, a little more enticing, I guess, in terms of getting Spencer Dinwiddie and all the draft picks or whatever. And I think the way they wrote it, I also feel like there was like a little bit of like, well, Kyrie's been such a big headache, for the Brooklyn Nets that I think they're like, you want to go there? No, we're gonna send you over here to the team you don't want to play for, just to stick it to Kyrie just one last time, you know. And
Yeah, I think
and the fact that
definitely,
you know
they don't get along.
if Kyrie didn't feel or he felt disrespected with the whole contract negotiation, I really feel like their relationship is so rocky and so icy that I feel like he's in Dallas only because no one from the Brooklyn Nets liked him, and so they just shipped him to a place
Well, at
where
least not
he didn't
the
really want to
front office. I
play
think
for.
I'm pretty sure the players had no issues with him. It's all it's like the
Sure,
politics
sure.
and like the higher ups.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah. So, like, for those that don't know basketball, and I'm glad you're listening this far into the podcast because we're just going off on some basketball. Kyrie is that player that you might have seen in headlines, in like non-basketball headlines. He's been in the headlines for being anti-vaccination with COVID, and he's
Which was an issue last year because New York specifically had
the city.
Yeah, New York City. They specifically had a rule saying that
They mandated it.
they mandated anyone that played for the city had to be vaccinated. But which was stupid
or
because
anyone that worked for the city.
anyone
If
that
you
worked for the city, yes, because
Yeah.
players.
So even as a basketball player, you work for the city.
Yeah, but players that didn't play for any team in New York City that came to New York didn't have to be vaccinated.
Yeah, because they didn't play for New York.
Yeah, it was just like to me, it was just like the dumbest mandate ever. But yeah, so
I agree.
Kyrie stuck to his guns to what he believed in, and that became a whole fiasco. And then this year, he tweeted out a just like a screenshot of a movie that he watched on Amazon, on Amazon Prime or whatever their streaming service is. And
so apparently Amazon Prime approved of this movie. It's
yeah, it
available
was
there.
called Hebrews to Negroes. I don't know. I didn't watch it, but it had something to do with Jewish people and slaves. And people said he was tweeting anti-Semitic things when he didn't even say anything. He just tweeted out a picture. So whatever. That was a controversy. And
he refused to apologize.
He
or whatever,
apologize,
right?
and he suspended him for like 5 games. Adam Silverman, he is a Jewish guy. He is the commissioner of the NBA, so he's like the head guy.
He pissed off his boss.
Yeah, and then him and Joe Tsai like try to make Kyrie like donate money. I think he eventually did. He eventually kind of apologized or whatever, let him play again. But what's funny though is that Amazon Prime still never took down that movie to this day. I don't think. I think it's still up there. And it was just funny because nobody criticized Amazon for it. They just criticized Kyrie.
Adam Silver's like, I'm the big honcho here at the NBA headquarters.
Did I say Adam Silverman earlier? I think I did.
Is it Adam Silver or Adam Silverman?
I think you're right. Adam Silver's. I got it wrong earlier, I think. Well, whatever. We'll find
Silverman sounds more Jewish actually than Silver.
Maybe.
I feel like a lot of Jewish names have the man part at the end of whatever it is.
Well, either way, Adam Silver is Adam Silverman. He's the head commissioner guy. And it's just a crazy story. And so that's why I think a lot of...
Yeah, you can't make Bezos budge, though. Bezos says, you know what, it's fine in my book.
Well, I think the guy that was in charge of Amazon Prime, I think he himself is Jewish or something.
Yeah, he's like, it's fine in my book.
Yeah, but it's just crazy that, they went after Kyrie so hard, but didn't say
it was weird.
Didn't say a thing to Amazon, so... But anyway, people...
I think the media has it out for Kyrie because he's such a martyr. Like, he puts himself in that position with the COVID vaccine. So like he's already got the reputation for being like that, for being a certain way. So whenever, he tweets, a movie poster, saying that he watched it, people I think treat him in that light. Whereas if he wasn't problematic and he posted that,
also I remember like a while ago he was also talking about like the flat Earth stuff. So everyone's already discounting him as like this crazy loon or whatever. But I like Kyrie. I'm a Kyrie fan. So I hope
I like it.
Yeah. So I hope he and Luka get along. I know I've seen pictures of them like hugging at the end of a game before.
That's PR. That's obligatory.
You think so? I don't think.
I think it's in their NBA contract. It's like they have media days. They're obligated to say hello to the cameras and whatever. That one time when they're harassing Kyrie with all these questions about the anti-Semitic stuff, he sits there and just it's like, I'm here because I have to be here.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really answer it. You know, he doesn't play ball.
I guess
with the
my point
media,
is
right?
that him and Luka are at least probably on a mutual basis, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
the good thing about we got to get off of basketball. It's been about like 15 minutes now basketball. But the good thing about Kyrie coming to Dallas, though, and I hope it's the bond here is strong, is that Nico Harrison, the GM, who used to be head honcho at Nike, has a really close relationship with Kyrie because of his work at Nike, and also Kyrie was a big fan of Jason Kidd's because Kyrie grew up in New Jersey. So he was a fan of the Nets growing up, which is the big reason why he played for Brooklyn Nets, is because he was a big he's a Nets fan.
He's from Jersey, I think. I think he's a Jersey guy.
Yeah, he's from Jersey. So he was a fan of Jason Kidd, and Jason Kidd is the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. So there's a few connective tissues that I think could iron out the kinks. If he didn't want to play for Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a few connections there that would make
so hopefully
want to stay.
To end this conversation, I hope he likes Dallas enough to want to re-sign with Dallas. We can finally have like a star. Yeah,
man.
like another
for
star.
Some reason, for some reason Dallas always has like the white boy
foreign white
basketball
boy,
star,
European white boy.
It's always a European guy. Yeah, Dirk Nowitzki for all those years. Now Luka Doncic, and until now we've never been able to get the Dwight Howard, the prime Dwight Howard, or the prime Darren Williams, or the prime. Who else have they targeted in the past? Like they've targeted so many.
We never get the guy with
stars.
we never get the guy with the shoe deal, which is funny because Kyrie got dropped from Nike. Now.
We still didn't get the guy with the shoe deal.
Yeah, I mean,
we can never get the black, the athletic black basketball player that has a shoe deal that is famous for his basketball prowess. We always have like we have the white star with like role players that round out the team. I guess they won the championship that one year, so that's it worked, but. It's not as exciting, it's more exciting. It's sexier when you got like superstars on your team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
so I'm happy. Me
too. It makes me a little more excited to watch the Mavs because it's been looking kind of sad lately. But anyways, let's get off of basketball. I think we talked about it long enough. It might be boring some people.
Yeah,
but we love basketball.
Stay oriented. I'm gonna make it work. It's not gonna be cringe. Like when you keep saying it, it won't be cringe.
Okay. All right,
we're gonna stay oriented.
Let's work on it. All right.
So let's talk about we're going to World War III, guys. I think that's where we're headed, right?
And we're probably in the middle of World War III, but it's like a Cold War type situation.
We might be in it already. Yes. So, but I guess why we're talking about it is because China has been flexing on Taiwan, right?
Yeah.
We talked about that in the first episode.
Airplanes around.
Yes.
Intimidation.
And most recently, China drifted a weather balloon into the United States. And that was the biggest flex on U.S. that China has done in a long time. And U.S. is like, yo, whoa, this weather balloon. What the fuck are you doing here? And it's not a weather balloon, obviously. But that's what China is saying. China's like, oh, it's a weather balloon that got lost. And it somehow drifted all the way to Montana.
They said it was a civilian research balloon, I think.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Civilian.
And it somehow got lost, and it drifted all the way to Montana, where a big U.S. military base with some important military shit is just sitting there in the mountains, and the balloon just happens to be hovering right over it.
Yeah, I guess I wonder. Why a balloon? Why a balloon satellite thing? Like I feel like it's pretty noticeable, right? I mean, there was like a video of it. It's like this, literally like a white balloon floating in the air with the satellite.
I like the meme you sent me. The meme you sent me was hilarious. What did it say? It's a balloon.
No, it was crap. It was really funny.
Where is it? It's in our chat. I'm gonna check it.
Weather balloon.
Weather balloon.
Totally not
spying. I'm gonna throw it up in the video for the podcast. Like, so
I can just picture Xi Jinping like just this little Winnie the Pooh like little look, just saying Totally
Yeah, he
not the
does look like Winnie the
spy
Pooh.
balloon.
I originally didn't see the Winnie the Pooh thing because like I think someone told me about it, and I
think
was
I
looking
told
at
you
Xi
about it.
Jinping's. Oh yeah, you did, and then yeah, I think you're the only person I talk talk with about politics in this way. Like
Yeah.
everyone else I talk to, it's like I don't know their political stances, and I don't know if they're even interested. But like with you, I know like we kind of dive into a lot of stuff. So we talk a lot about China stuff. But yeah, I didn't see the Winnie the Pooh thing until I saw side by side comparisons. I was like, he really does look like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
And whoever came up with that, whoever saw that the first and like actually made the comparisons, hats off to them, geniuses.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know about this weather balloon thing. I don't know. It feels like a distraction to me. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So you think that maybe they send we'll call it a weather balloon, and they send a weather balloon to make our media go crazy, right? Because the media's in a frenzy about this whole balloon thing, and Biden. Took Biden 5 days or something to shoot down the balloon.
I think like 2-3 days maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure. So they just let
the balloon float around a little bit longer.
Well,
and then they eventually shoot it down.
That I don't know. Like I just see these like tweets in passing and stuff. I didn't really look into it, but I saw that Biden wanted to shoot it down way early on, but the general of the military, Mark Milley, I think is his name. Like he like denied the action to shoot it down right away. I don't know
why. What's wrong with this Mark Milley guy?
I don't know.
We'll let the Chinese catch up. They don't know what they're doing. Look at this weather balloon.
I have no idea. I honestly I don't really keep up with it. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird story. What's funny to me though is that they are kind of spinning everything and then now talking about Trump again. They according to Fox,
there's never been a president that's been more relevant after his presidency than Trump.
Yeah,
like, why is this guy still relevant?
He lives rent free in everyone's heads, all the media's
That's
heads.
Hilarious.
I think what it is he drives everyone's ratings up. They hate him. Whether you like him or hate him,
but we need you.
But like for some reason, his name in the headlines it drives up ratings.
Yeah.
And so
he's like I'm a big MMA fan, and he's like the Conor McGregor of politics, American politics, or world politics, just politics in general. He's the Conor McGregor of politics because Conor McGregor isn't he's not fighting anymore. He got injured, so he's out for like forever, and he's still recuperating. He wants to come back. But the fact that he hasn't fought in forever and he hasn't won a fight in forever, like he's been like 3 years since he actually won a fight.
I think
and this guy's the most
old too.
Yeah, but he's like the most relevant fighter. No matter how bad he loses, no matter whatever he does, and like all the bad PR he gets, like sexual scandals or whatever, him punching a guy in a bar, like this guy stays relevant, and the UFC needs him to keep UFC as relevant as it was when Conor McGregor was in his heyday. And so I feel like Trump is kind of like the same, like, and they both kind of run their mouths, like, kind of a little too much, I would say.
Yeah.
And, but they're both so fun to watch.
Yeah.
They're both hilarious in their own way.
Yeah. So
they're instigators.
According to this Fox article, it says Chinese spy balloons over U.S. during Trump admin discovered after he left office, according to a senior Biden official. And to me, it's just kind of funny. Is like, why didn't they release that information when it happened? Why wait till this balloon incident to happen for them to mention it? It's like were they expecting a Chinese weather balloon to come up so that they could bring up this article? I don't know. To me, it's just kind of weird.
It's almost kind of like, well, if you really wanted to get a president impeached during his presidency, wouldn't you want to bring up all the dirt and all the weird, like that would have been a nice little piece to kind of throw out there at the time of like trying to get Trump impeached.
Yeah.
Don't you say?
But,
wouldn't you say that?
But honestly, like I'm at the point where I just I don't really believe the stuff the media tells us. It's all theatrics to me. And
it's always the opposite. Like they're projecting.
Yeah, and it's just like, whether
right?
you're.
So what does that mean then? What is the opposite of what's happening or what's the opposite of what they're saying? So what they're really saying is,
I think they're just trying to ramp tension up between us and China. You know.
Okay.
I think.
And so basically World War Three, going back to World War Three thing.
Yeah.
Are we
I
going to war with them?
I mean, we kind of are economically, you know. But
Yeah, so what's the breakdown? Like the whole COVID thing, right? For example, there was a take that that we came across about like some guy was basically saying like the whole COVID thing is the war. I mean, I guess that's nothing
like
new.
biological
We are,
warfare.
yeah, it's biological warfare. We already kind of even the moment COVID landed on Earth, like the moment it happened, people are already saying like, yeah, right, this is war. We're going to war. But the take was it took it a little bit further, right? What was it?
So okay, so a lot of people think, or I don't know, there's certain people that think that China released COVID to, you know, mess with us or whatever, you know, the U.S. But this guy, this video that we saw, his take was that, you know, America's been doing this to China for a while, and that's why they have like they're always wearing masks and stuff like that. So
they're in a state of emergency because of America,
according to this guy, yeah. So
America released COVID upon China first.
Yeah, he didn't say the word COVID, but maybe he was referencing to like SARS back, you know, like 15 years ago or whatever.
True.
Who knows? I don't know. He didn't say COVID specifically.
Yeah. Why does China always have all the weird flu viruses?
Yeah, because
like SARS.
For me, I don't think that COVID came from someone eating bat soup. Like that sounds. I don't know. I don't think that's the case. But
lab grown. I mean, some.
Yeah, I think that guy.
The lady that came out and basically said that it is lab grown.
Yeah,
like
Wuhan,
she confirmed it. This guy kind of goes against what this guy is saying, but basically she worked in the lab in which it came from, you know?
Yeah.
And I guess, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's her word, I guess. Like, how do we check her credentials or whatever? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. There's so much
she was
behind
seeking
all of this.
A sanctuary, though. Like, I remember when she first came out, like, it was on Fox News. It had to be Fox News, too. Like, I don't think CNN would have covered this.
Yeah.
But she was on Fox News, and then in like her like subtitle, like it was her name, and then like you know, like, oh, she worked there, and then like further along it was like she was basically coming out like whistleblowing, I guess, and then she was basically like, hey, I'm trading this story for safety. I'm seeking sanctuary here in the States, but you can have the story.
She's like the Edward Snowden of China.
Yeah, basically. Well, hey, that's a pretty nice deal.
Yeah.
You get to live in America, whereas Eric Snowden has to live in Russia, the cold ass Russia. Like, I don't know what the living standards are in Russia. I'm sure it's nice.
That's pretty nice if you're in Moscow. Yeah.
Yeah, but I also know, like, you know, it's not America, and I don't know. Yeah. I feel like Russia's a little bit. I feel bad for Eric Snowden sometimes.
Well, I think he's chilling over there. I think he's chilling over there.
He's being taken care of.
He's definitely being taken care of. They like him as an asset. I think they gave him citizenship because he just had a newborn son. So he wanted to make sure that he and his family were going to be safe.
He's got a Russian wife.
I don't know. I have no idea. But they definitely are treating him well. That's for sure.
That's good.
Because he is an enemy of the state, I guess, of the U.S. state.
Yeah, because I've always felt like his information that he whistleblowed. I mean, obviously, if I was the government, I guess I would be upset too. Yeah. But the information was good. The people needed to know. Yeah, right? And wait, what did he tell us? He told us basically, like, hey, we're being spied on.
Yeah, the NSA is always spying on us. And in my opinion,
they know stuff that we do. Like, we're not as
we don't have as much privacy as we think we do. And in my opinion, when that came out, I was like, duh. You know,
that's not news. Yeah, we already knew that.
I had a teacher in the 11th grade. She told me, or she told the class, I mean, that like even our TVs, our washing machines, like all these appliances at our house are spying on us. That's
a fun teacher. Yeah, she was like your teacher's telling you. Your teacher's telling you all the conspiracy theories.
She's this white lady who like spoke Japanese and watches anime and stuff. It was weird, but
that's funny.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like I like it when teachers talk like that.
I like teachers that are like kind of like they're like hip with the times. But
yeah, it's crazy. I don't know, man. Like maybe in the next few years, maybe we will get into a war with China. But I feel like China and the U.S., our relations were kind of like gridlocked together because, literally all our crap is made in China. and I'm pretty sure to some
Well, shifted to
degree,
Taiwan.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure to some degree China is also reliant on the U.S. economy too. So
Yeah, I guess. I don't know though. I don't know how much China wants to be reliant on the US, because I feel
yeah,
like everything that I understand about China seems like they're so Xi Jinping,
Xi
like
Jinping, yeah,
Xi Jinping, he is basically the second coming of Mao. And the way he runs
kind
China
of, yeah,
seems like
yeah,
he
better than
wants.
Mao, but yeah,
I hope so, but the way he's running it so far, I mean, like, or was it 10 years of being in charge now?
I
So
don't
he
know,
brought it
yeah,
up, he brought it into, a good economical times, right? The like before COVID, but then, like, with the whole, like, we talked about in the first episode, the real estate situation. I don't know. I mean, everything's state run, right? Like most of
yeah,
the stuff is state run. So
I
I'm
assume,
sure like his policies had something to do with the whole real estate situation that they're in. COVID, handling COVID, the zero COVID policy,
yeah,
which seemingly it was a huge fail. So basically, they went into a zero COVID policy while the rest of the world's trying to open back up. China, along with Hong Kong, they had to close down because Xi Jinping was like, no, we're now opening back up. Zero COVID policy, meaning you guys stay inside, you stay wearing masks.
yeah. I
you
heard
cotton
that
swab your
some,
noses
in
every
some
single
cities
day.
they like welded people's doors shut. Supposedly,
Yeah, that's
I don't
fucking
know. Yeah, they
nuts.
welded the door shut. I think they would like deliver their groceries with like a drone or something.
Oh
I
my
saw like
god.
videos of like I think it was like Shanghai. People were locked in their apartments and everyone was just like screaming. They just had their windows open, like screaming. I don't know what they were screaming for exactly. Maybe they were just bored or
Right.
just like
And then,
screaming
and
for help. I don't know.
Chinese citizens actually protested too, which,
There were
do you
riots.
understand? Like, you know how obedient Chinese people are? Chinese people are like the most obedient population you can ever have, I feel like. Maybe next to Japanese population. I don't know. Like they're like
Asian,
Chinese people
yeah,
are,
definitely
Asian countries are very obedient. Like you
Yeah.
can't do this in America. Like the way they run China, you can't run America the way they run China.
Yeah.
Like people will protest. No, they wouldn't even just protest. They would fucking riot, you know?
Yeah.
And so for Chinese citizens to actually finally be like fed up and be like, no, we have to get out of our houses. We're going to take a stand, albeit they all got thrown in prison. It was worth it for them. It was worth it for them to actually speak up for once.
Yeah.
And
Hopefully they
and so
weren't long
that's-
prison sentences though.
I think they're still in prison.
Yeah.
And the fact it's funny because now that the zero COVID policy is done for, like they dropped it. I think those guys that were protesting zero COVID policy are still in prison. So
Yeah. Yeah, we saw this thing where
really-
on the internet that was talking about how China is now trying to rewrite the history of their zero COVID policy. Apparently it officially ended December 7th, but now they're trying to rewrite it, saying that it ended in November 15th, because apparently the zero COVID policy didn't work out the way they planned it to. So I think cases were rising in November. And so they finally ended it. But they're trying to say, the cases were rising because we actually ended it back in November 15th, which is the day that they're trying to say they ended it. So
they're basically saying like, so they ended it early December.
yeah. Yes. Yeah.
At the peak, right after an explosion of cases of COVID. And they look stupid as fuck for that. And so now they're like, let's change.
I don't know if it was like a
date.
peak. I don't know if it was like a peak of explosion, but obviously I don't think they could like go back to like July. Like, we ended it back in July, So I guess they just picked like 1 month
there's some
before.
confusion about when it really ended. But
Yeah,
it's
they're just trying to
before.
they're trying to muddy the waters there with it.
Yeah,
and I think
yeah,
it's kind of
yeah.
funny that they're doing that.
Yeah, because originally it was like I know like one of the reports was how there was a fire at an apartment, and because of the COVID precautions and stuff like that, it was hard for people to exit the building, and a lot of
Really?
people died. Yeah, and so
Snap! I didn't even know about that.
and so that was the reason why they ended COVID. But this apartment thing, the fire happened after the date that they're saying that they ended COVID now.
So there's
You know
like
what I
this
mean?
giant discrepancy.
Yeah, they're kind of confusing. Very, very
Yeah.
confusing.
Huh. That's crazy.
They're rewriting history, kind of like almost like how was it Japan was rewriting history. I think they're like, it's been kind of known that Japan rewrote history in regards to World War II.
World War
Like
II,
they
and I
rewrote
think like
history.
the rape of Nanking, I think they try to write it out of their school
Yeah,
books. At least that's what our parents
yeah.
would always tell us about.
I
Yeah,
feel like Mao would have done something like that too. I feel like some of the history. Well, Mao is famous for burning history books and literature and all sorts of things.
yeah.
So I feel
Which
like
is
there's
with
probably a lot of
history back
rewriting
then.
there.
Yeah, with the history back then, without having internet and all that kind of stuff, a lot of stuff could easily get lost and forgotten, and we would never know. But in this case, it's like China, dude. Like we caught you in 4K.
Yeah, we have the internet now.
So yeah, so it's kind of funny how that played out, but good for them because apparently now Hong Kong, they are planning on giving away like 500,000 plane tickets in the near future.
Yeah,
To kind of
because there's
revitalize
no
the tourism.
Exactly. So basically, no thanks to China, Hong Kong's like economy has sunk quite a bit. We talked about this in the first episode as well. So China sunk, Hong Kong sunk during this time, while the rest of the world has been trying to reinvigorate their economy, being proactive with getting back to how things were. China and Hong Kong are kind of like stuck in this weird zero COVID thing. And so they now have recently lifted the bans or the mandates and all that stuff. And Hong Kong has launched a new campaign. And it's called Hello Hong Kong. And I'm so happy because, you and I, amongst our family, we're like, I don't know when the next time we're going to go back to Hong Kong.
Yeah, I thought I would never ever go back.
Yeah, I was like, goodbye. It was goodbye Hong Kong, not hello Hong Kong. For the for the foreseeable future. And yeah, when was the last time we were in Hong Kong?
2019.
No,
2018.
It wasn't that far.
2018.
Yeah, it wasn't
18.
that long ago.
Yeah.
And like when you like in retrospect, we're like, oh man, I wish I had savored it more. I wish I had
Hong Kong is
maybe
fun.
done more.
It's a very fun city
Hong
to
Kong
go
is
to.
so fun, and it tires you out.
If you guys haven't been there, it's it's like New York on crack is the way I've explained it. It's just so
really
dense.
Is.
We talked about how the mountain ranges kind of tower over the city. So they have like a geographical restriction on how spread out it can be built. So they build very tall. And when you're there, it's like never ending jewelry stores and like luxury brand retail stores.
Yeah, so
it's
if
crazy.
you got the moolah for that,
I feel so
like
poor
shopping
walking through all these
haven.
malls. Yeah, it's insane
for sure.
And so I can only imagine like during the protests before COVID and during COVID, like how
what are you
many
gonna do with all these stores?
Yeah, like how many of these businesses had to have closed down just because no one's buying $3,000 handbags whenever no one can work. It's crazy. Like I don't know how much has changed, but I'm happy to hear that there's this new initiative to try to bring it all back.
Yeah. So the initiative is basically they're giving away 500,000 plane tickets. 500,000 plane tickets. That's 500,000 people.
Yeah, and I think that includes like checked baggage in the plane too.
That's amazing. Yeah, so the budget that they're working with is $250 million US dollars.
I think
not
it's
Hong Kong dollars.
225 to be exact.
Oh, 225. 225 million US dollars, not Hong Kong dollars. US dollars. That's quite a bit of money. So basically they're in the state of like, you got to spend a little bit of money to make money. And they're hoping that this is going to stimulate interest in terms of tourism. So a lot of, Hong Kong's economy stems from its tourism. It's a major port, income exports, import exports, tourism comes in, tourism goes out. Because if you go to Hong Kong, you're within, you're within range of Macau. You're within range of China in and of itself. If you're flying to Hong Kong, or if you're flying to Asia and you're trying to go to Korea, Japan, Singapore, Thailand, very likely, you might actually just fly into Hong Kong first for a layover as well. So like everything goes through Hong Kong, and they've been shut off from the world. So this is a huge move to re-stimulate their economy.
Yeah, because
I know they're. Go ahead.
At the height of COVID, they just had. I'm sure a lot of places also did too, but they had such crazy COVID protocol restrictions. I get my custom suits. Well, I have like 2 suits from them, but I got these suits custom made by this brand called Nita Fashions. They're based out of Hong Kong. It's pretty cool because it's actually these 2 Indian guys, Indian family, and they've had.
Do they speak Cantonese? Do you talk to them in Cantonese? That's so cool. Do they have an Indian accent? Are they from India?
British. They got British accents.
Oh, okay, so they're born in England, or they're not born in England. They're born in Hong Kong.
Yeah, so they have a couple generations in Hong Kong, and they went to like international school, but they can read and write Chinese, speak Cantonese.
That's cool.
Yeah,
and do they have an accent when they speak Cantonese, or they're like pitch perfect with the Cantonese?
Man, I can't tell you because my Cantonese sucks. So,
but you can't tell. Wait, even though you have bad Cantonese, you can tell when someone speaks good Cantonese, right?
I think I was kind of frozen. I was kind of like, oh shit, because like. I'm only comfortable speaking Cantonese to our parents and maybe like at a restaurant just to kind of like, you know.
Yeah, that's how I am by and large too. But
yeah,
like,
but
sometimes I try and I sound a fool. Like I sound like I'm in 3rd grade and I'm like,
I think I sound like I'm in...
I sound like a little child, like talking. Yeah, I only know the kids vernacular, you know?
Yeah, if I'm out of the element and someone's trying to speak Cantonese to me, like I freeze up like a deer in headlights, and I don't know what to say. So I said like a line or 2 to them, just to have that little like Cantonese connection. Yeah, I forgot what he said to me, but yeah, I definitely know that I had a hard time responding, and their Cantonese is extremely fluent, and I wouldn't be able to distinguish because they're born there, live there. So
yeah, I kind of forget like how much of a melting pot Hong Kong is. It's like, you go to Hong Kong, like in my mind, I'm like, oh, it's just a bunch of Chinese people there, but it's like there's a lot of Indian immigration that has happened.
Because
so there's a lot of Hong Kong born Indian people.
Because the British colonized India at one point, so pretty sure there's like a lot of cross migration there. But to my point, though, my story was that they were telling me that this was like during the height of the pandemic. I had to like wear a mask to get my, get fitted and all that stuff still.
You flew to Hong Kong for this?
No, they do like a tour in the US. So they'll visit all these major cities, and they came to Dallas. Like they'll have like a hotel room. And then you just go in there, and then
That's crazy. So
they do
like,
all the measurements.
They don't wait for people to come to them. They just go straight to the people, to their clientele.
I think America is like a really big market for them. So they'll spend the money to travel to the US, to do all these custom suit fittings.
Hey, let me know when they're in LA.
Okay.
I like the suit you got from them. It looks good. And
it's all custom. It's completely custom.
Yeah.
I mean, it ranges from, I think their cheapest suit's like $700. I got like one step up because it's like you might as well get not the crappiest
Get the
thing.
suit. Get the suit that you will wear for whatever occasions you need the suit for, right? That's how
so
I
went for like the 2nd tier suit. So I didn't get the cheapest. I got like one step up just because they showed me the difference. They have all these sample books and stuff, and they showed me the difference between like the cheapest and then one step up. And it was like, okay, this one's more worth the money. It's like $100 more.
Wow.
But yeah,
the thing about suits too, and even if you get a suit here in America, and you get it tailored, like I guess it's fine, but it's good to start from scratch. I imagine
they literally do, yeah.
Because and also someone that is in Hong Kong might actually be more privy to this, because like Asian people, and my wife Tiff hates the fact that I always say this because she thinks I'm like low key being racist to myself, but I'm like, no, Asian people by and large have very short limbs. Like it's I can objectively say that.
Hands are tiny.
Yeah, like hands are smaller, limbs are shorter, dicks are smaller. No, actually, not really.
It's average size, all right.
That's about average, I would say. But no, like, yeah, like I feel like my forearm is shorter than Tiff's forearm. and we measured it out. And she was like, all right, fine, you have a point. You have short forearms and shorter
maybe
arms.
it's just our family, because like our uncle in Hong Kong, he's like close to 6 feet tall.
That's true.
So
That's true.
he ended up getting the genes that
but I
perpetuate the
know
stereotype.
But I know a lot of Asian people that have the stubby arms, like a lot of my Vietnamese friends have the stubby arms, like a lot of, I guess like a lot of South Asian, not including Indian people, but like Vietnamese, Thai, Laos people, like they do have like that stubby look. And if you go to North China and then Japan, not Japan, but like Korea, I think Koreans have like the longer limbs, I would say.
So I think they're a different race of Asian. Like I think we're like Han Chinese, and I think people up north are like Manchurian or something.
Yeah,
there's like an actual difference. I like kind of briefly looked into it once, and I was like,
I get it. Yeah, we're the tannable Asian, and then there's the non-tannable Asians.
Yeah, but they're taller.
Like they stay like really white looking.
They have like a different bone structure, stuff like that.
I know.
But let me finish my point real quick before we.
Sorry, I keep diverting you.
No, it's okay. But so yeah, they were telling me that this was during the height of the pandemic, and they said that at that point in time, to go back to Hong Kong, you had to quarantine for 3 weeks after taking a test to make sure you were negative. You had to stay in a hotel room that you had to pay for 3 weeks before they even would let you out.
Wow.
So I think they were saying that the hotel rooms were like $500-$600 a night.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess for them,
you get no breaks in Hong Kong. If you're under Chinese rule, you get no breaks. Like your government does not love you.
Yeah,
they don't even pretend to love you. Like at least in America, they pretend to love you.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they pretend to love you. They pretend to give you freedom, and we have 50 states, so every state has its own freedom. But yeah, definitely in China, it's like one ruler, one rule overall.
And they go, it's a dog eat dog world,
and we eat dogs too. Just kidding. And I guess I'm not kidding, because they actually do.
They do. Asians,
at least in certain places, like not Hong Kong. I don't think Hong Kong does that.
I haven't seen it in Hong Kong. I'm sure there's someone that eats dogs.
Yeah, I think Hong Kong's been westernized enough to where they don't do that. Maybe like like a secret menu or something.
I think mom actually said that.
Dad said
like,
he did
growing
once.
up. She was like, no, people eat dogs.
I don't think they do anymore though. I think maybe like back then.
Yeah, because back then it was like they grew up in a world where like the old timers were still in charge, and so like the way of life was still like like that. But no kidding though. The first time, I honestly, and this might not be for everyone to hear, to want to hear, but I've always told myself if I was given a chance to try dog meat, I would take it.
I would try it. Yeah, I have a dog too.
Yeah, I love dogs. Not eating them. I like petting them and cuddling with them, and they're friends. But if I was in a situation where I was like, well, this is what they do here, I would try it. I would try it
too.
And it's not like I think I would enjoy having a pet chicken, but I still eat chicken. So I think I kind of go into that territory.
It's kind of like how like in Japan they eat horse meat.
Yeah. I tried horse meat. It is so good.
It is good.
So
it is good.
Yeah.
And like in America, you would never
pet horse.
You would never. Yeah. In America, you would never dare eating a horse or a dog.
I got freaked out when so me and a few buddies of mine were in Japan, and we walked into a restaurant. We wanted like some, Japanese barbecue, like, just sear it on the grill in front of you, right? And we looked up at the menu, and the whole menu was shaped, the menu was shaped in a horse. Yeah, and we're like,
you're like, okay,
well, that's a funny animal to choose, and then we're like, well, what kind of meats do you guys have? They're like, horse. I was like, oh, the menu was like the shape of the menu was telling me that that's what they serve, and they only serve horse meat. And half our group left because they were like, "I'm not doing horse meat today. Not today. I want some cow. Give me the other animal that walks on all fours and eats grass." I stayed with a few other friends. Tiff left. Tried horse meat. It's the sweetest version of beef you can ever imagine. It's so good. Very,
and
very
I'm sure in Japan they're very they take care of their their farm animals before they slaughter them. Like in America, it's just like a meat factory. And I'm sure in Japan
they throw
they
them
treat
to the grinders. Like a whole cow just falls into the grinder, like boom, 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 like ping pong, and they just get grinded. Like, it's
I'm sure
brutal,
in Japan
brutal.
they're very I don't know what the word is, but like halal or like kosher about
they give them
killing
massages.
those kind of animals.
They probably play music for them. They're in the jacuzzi.
Kind of like Kobe beef or Kobe.
Exactly.
That kind of treatment.
But anyways, back to dog meat. I was in Korea, and I was at a street vendor's little marketplace thing, and I saw dog meat.
And you didn't try it
on a menu.
It sounds like you did it.
I did not. I got very scared.
Really?
I just got scared. I got cold. Like my palms got sweaty. I don't know. It's like I always thought I'd be ready for the moment. Like if I'm in a foreign country and this is what they do, I would do it. And for some reason, and maybe because I had already eaten too. Like it was like on our way out from the marketplace. So like I was relatively full. I ate some dumplings, had some noodles, and so then I was leaving.
I would have done it.
I know.
Even if it's just one bite,
Maybe because I wasn't hungry, the feeling of nausea kicked in. Like I don't know, I got a little disgusted. I was like,
you probably also needed someone else there with you that would try it.
Yeah, I needed you. You needed to be there with me. Yeah,
I would try.
I don't think I know a single person in my friend group that would be like, yeah, you want to try dog meat? Let's do it together. Everyone would be like, no, that's all you, Casey. You're by yourself on this.
I would totally do it. The only thing I won't eat at this point now, I guess, is bat soup. or like rats and mice. I've seen videos of like this Chinese girl like eating a mouse. It was that's
depends
something
if the head's on. Yeah, like I don't know. Like
I think they ate like a live mouse. I don't know. I don't know. It was weird.
That's weird.
Chinese people eat some weird stuff.
Yeah, I until that moment, I always thought I could do anything. I'm like indestructible. I've tried everything. And when it came time for it,
at whatever place you're at.
Yeah. I can't do it. I couldn't do it. Like, you watch like the Man versus Food or whatever, and you see the foods that he wouldn't eat. And I'm like, I would have done that.
What kind of foods? Like, what would he not
bitch.
eat?
He didn't eat certain fish. I don't know. Like he just thought he looked ugly, and I'm like,
would you try roadkill? I heard in those like boony states or like middle of nowhere places, there's like roadkill restaurants.
I'd have to gauge how they cook it.
I don't know. I don't know about that, honestly. That might be another thing I might not want to try at all.
It's like, hey, young man, you want to try some dead possum?
Some opossum?
Possum.
I might have to read the Yelp reviews or something. I don't know.
That's great.
I don't know. Yeah, that doesn't sound appetizing.
Hey, young man's ethically sourced opossum. Ethically sourced dead roadkill. No cars were harmed in the making of this dead roadkill.
No cars were harmed. That's funny.
Yeah, what were we talking about?
We went from talking about COVID and Hong Kong. Suits.
Hong Kong's opening back up. Yeah, dude. Yes. And so the news about this, like the exciting part about it is they're going to open it up for Asia first. Asia's going to have first pickings. And then eventually they're going to open it up to, I don't know which order, but eventually Europe and eventually North America. And
it sounds like
I want to try and do this.
We're like last to join the lottery for it.
Yeah, we are. I mean, we're the furthest away too. But I think they're trying to give like Singapore and like Japan and Korean people to like a chance to like do their thing first.
Yeah, that would be
which
great.
Makes sense.
I'm tired of feeling like I won't ever be able to travel to certain places again. Yeah,
I agree. And I don't know, not having the ability to travel makes you miss traveling, I think. And so, and I don't know, like with Hong Kong being, part of China now, it's like, I didn't know when the next time we'll go back to China. So, and I know Dad's like, we got to go back to Hong Kong ASAP because we want to experience Hong Kong as it is, without China's like messing with its culture. And so Like, I think they're slowly taking away all the aspects of Hong Kong that makes it Hong Kong. So yeah, we should probably try go soon.
Soon, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, this Hello Hong Kong initiative doesn't start till like March, anyways. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be
But
a while.
It's like raffles, right?
probably
It's like
still kind of a
raffles
while,
and like
yeah.
certain like
I wouldn't.
I
Bet
know
on
there's
us,
like challenges.
I wouldn't bet on us getting the raffle parts. We might just have to pay in full.
True. But the fact that it's
Yeah.
open, I think it's
That's the
pretty
best
cool.
part about it. Yeah, that's
Yeah. Oh, I miss Hong Kong food already.
yeah. Me too.
You know, something that's always I find interesting about you is that you don't like meat textures from other cuisines as much as you like meat texture from Chinese food or Asian food, I guess. You always say, like, when we go out and eat, you're like, I was like, oh, we should try this cuisine. You'd be like, but is it like, do they cook their meat like how Asian people cook their meat?
Like what? For example, like, do you remember
Like
a
when you go,
specific time?
like when you go get Mexican food, and I'm like, oh, they have this really cool pork dish, you know, like you should try it. It tastes great. And you're like,
yeah.
but it's like usually dried out, like, you know. I'm like, yeah, but it's not Chinese food. It's not Asian food.
Yeah, I can't stand dried out meat. I don't know. I can't stand it. Like chicken breasts, I know it's clean and it's good for you, and I will eat it. Don't get me wrong, but I can't enjoy it. You know?
I see.
Yeah.
What if it's dried out dog meat?
Well, I'll still
Is it
take a
only-
bite. I'll still take a bite. If that's my only chance. If that's my only chance to try it, I will try it. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious though if you come across dog meat and you're like, you've always wanted to try it, and then you're like, but how did you cook it? Did you try out the meat? Because if it's dried out, I'm not gonna try it.
I do want to try different foods though. Like I know there's like an Ethiopian restaurant nearby that I've always wanted to go to that I never went to.
Oh, let's go. There's a spot here in LA. There's little Ethiopia literally, and
Really?
we go there.
Okay.
Yeah, you eat with your hands, and it's got the bread on the bottom underneath the meat. It's like a spongy bread thing. So you rip a piece off of that, and you take the bread and you just pinch a little bit of meat, little minced meat here, little minced beans and veggies there, and you just eat it, and it's so good, so good.
Okay. Yeah, I've never tried Ethiopian food.
Well,
but
next
I'm
time
down to
you
try
come
it,
here,
yeah.
let's try it. Or
Is
next
there a
time I go to
Nigerian
Dallas,
restaurant?
I gotta look that up. I don't know.
I want to try
don't know.
rice jollof or whatever. Jollof rice.
Jollof rice? What is that? How'd you hear about it, and what is it?
I don't know. It's a type of rice in Nigeria that's really popular. I saw it from the show Atlanta. Yeah.
Okay.
It was like an episode basically talking about how white people, like the hipster white people, they'll turn like an ethnic food and then like they'll like make their own restaurant out of it and try to like hipsterify it or whatever.
I see.
Yeah, but I don't know.
You know
that
what?
was the first time I heard of it.
Yeah, as much as I am against white people appropriating different cuisines, I'm super appreciative of them doing that too. Because without them, I would never be interested in other cuisines. Because it's just not on my radar. It's like it literally doesn't come across my brain to go, I need to try Nigerian food. And I'm glad now you brought it up. I'm like, now I gotta try this jollof rice. And every time I try some African food, it surprises me how good it is. And how
It is. I haven't tried any of it yet. I need to.
we went to Morocco. That's considered North Africa, and Moroccan food's awesome. It's so spices is the name. That's their thing. Maybe the meat might be a little too dry for your standards, but it's so good. It's they have a lot of different like stews, and stews is a big thing. Like Jamaican food. I know Jamaican food is an African food, but like I'm assuming the lineage of Jamaican food is somewhat stems from
Similar.
African culture. Yeah. Like Jamaican food, the stews, oxtail soups, and stuff like that. So good. And
there's a craze with oxtail soups. I hear oxtail soup is expensive now.
Why? Because there's only one oxtail on each ox.
Well,
and so
yeah, there's
small
that. But
portion
like,
of meat.
I think it's like kind of at least in the black community. Like I listened to some other podcasts and they were talking about how like the prices of oxtail have inflated now because everyone's trying to like cook oxtail and stuff. It's like a whole trend, and so
it's
like
a TikTok trend.
price.
It's a TikTok trend.
something like that. Yeah.
That's
It's
so
like, it's
crazy
not
how
trendy
TikTok
to eat
can.
oxtail.
That's so crazy. That's awesome because I feel like
Yeah.
just a little while ago, if I brought up something like oxtail or brought up something weird, like weird, quote unquote weird, people look at you like, you eat that? How do you eat that? And they ask all these weird questions like you're an alien or something like that. And it's cool that these trends are opening up the minds of people, and then it's like, oh, oxtail soup, and now you can, I'm assuming you can just say it and they'll be like, oh yeah, oxtail soup, I know what that is.
Yeah, like with the chicken feet with dim sum, I feel like it's not as weird to like talk about eating chicken feet now.
Yeah, dude, when I was growing up, you mentioned chicken feet, they look at you like you're the most disgusting human being they've ever met. But now they kind of look at you with inquisitive eyes, like, ooh, what is that? I don't know if I try it, but hey, more power to you, you know?
Yeah. So like Diana, like when I first met her, like she wouldn't try chicken feet, or maybe she'd like take a bite and not like it. But now she actually will eat it. You know, maybe not as clean. Yeah, maybe not as clean as we eat it. You know, we try to get every little like piece of cartilage,
little gelatinous gooiness. Yeah.
Collagen.
Want that collagen. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always thought that's so weird too about collagen. I was moving into collagen. I'm like, people literally throw away cartilage on bones, but then they spend four times the amount of money just to get the collagen powder to intake for like good hair and good nail growth, right? That's what collagen's for. But I'm like, it's right there for free, because it's free only because of the fact that you threw it away. You know what I mean? You already paid for it, because like, if you buy a whole chicken, you can eat the meat, you can chew off the collagen, you can chew off the cartilage and all that stuff. It's free theoretically because you're willing to throw it away, and yet they pay 4 times, 5 times the amount of money for collagen powder. I think that's so stupid. I'm gonna teach my son to eat cartilage. That is my main goal. I hope he takes after me.
Oh, I totally
loves eating cartilage. Yeah.
If whenever I have kids, definitely doing that. Like with Diana, like whatever we eat, like wings or whatever that has cartilage on it, I eat all of hers. Like she doesn't.
Me too. I
take
take all its hairs. I'm like, you're not gonna eat that? Like, yeah, bite it off. Yeah, and it's good for. Have you ever heard of mewing? For there's a study saying if you or people back then didn't have this air breather mouth problem where like your jaw is underdeveloped and you have a small jaw. It makes people look like dumb, I guess. There's a whole study on it. If you type in mewing, M-E-W, let me see. M-E-W-I-N-G. Mewing, yeah. Before and after. Mewing, M-E-W-I-N-G, is an internet craze that promises to change the shape of your jawline and fix other problems by changing the placement of your tongue, I believe. But point is the study of this,
like plastic surgery, basically.
No, it's just exercising your jaw. It's just practicing like this, the movement of your jaw. And they're saying the study's basically saying that we have these particular problems with breathing and our mouth being underdeveloped because all our food's too soft these days, and that people back then had bigger jaws and they looked prettier. They looked more symmetrical. Their face developed properly because they were chewing through tough meats and tough bones, and or even like chewing through root vegetables that weren't cooked like into mashed potatoes. They were just eating the potato, you know? And so we've changed the way we've eaten to the point where everything we eat now is just super soft and mushy, or like fried and crispy, and you just kind of brick it off and it's like, you know, just chips, you know? But back then they would actually have to chew. And that would create a certain development in their face where like...
It's like a jaw muscles, basically?
Yeah, exactly. It's like one of the famous studies, I don't know how true this is. I mean, all this might be just super pseudoscience, but one of the famous studies was that a set of twins separated at birth. One grew up in a well-to-do family, but was eating soft foods. And then the other was raised in the jungles, basically. Like he was like raised by some other peoples. And that brother from the jungle, the Tarzan brother, basically had a Tarzan face, like very like the Disney Tarzan, like the very chiseled jawline, very good looking brother. Whereas the twin that was raised on soft foods like had a mouth breather face. Like he looked like dumb. Like he just looked not as as pretty and as like
Do they have
well
pictures of these
defined.
brothers, or is this like?
Yeah. I'm trying to like
Mm.
mewing before and after. Like if that's what I search. I mean, the pictures that pop up are just it's literally what
Yeah,
I'm
I see them. Yeah.
expressing. Yeah. And so, yeah, I'm gonna teach my son to eat on bones because I feel like I don't know how true this stuff is. I mean, this is gonna be a Photoshop, but I mean, I don't know. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing to look into if you are
I've seen
interested in
like
this.
those like like as an Instagram ad, it was like these products where it's like this little ball and you're supposed to like chew on it to like exercise your jaw or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's what that was for.
Yeah, I think it's something similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so, I think that's all the time we have for this week. Big news, Hong Kong's opened up again, and Kyrie's a Maverick.
Yeah, let's go Mav, let's go.
We'll see what happens. We'll I guess
Yeah.
this we'll talk we'll stay oriented. We'll talk about Asian crap, but I guess we'll also talk about Mavericks crap too now.
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully some of you guys like basketball too.
MMA and basketball. If you like those sports, we'll probably end up talking about it because me and Carrie we're planning on watching Kamzat.
Is that
Kamzat's
Chimaev?
next fight. Yeah. I don't think he's signed. He doesn't have another fight booked yet.
Yeah,
But when
that's
he
good 'cause I don't have
does-
the money yet either. So
Yeah, I don't have the money right now either. I'm kind of broke right now. But when we do have money and he has a fight booked, we'll definitely be going to that fight.
yeah, and hopefully it's UFC Dallas too. That'd be even better for me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
Cool. Laters, I guess. I don't know. Stay oriented. I'm always itching to say it, and I don't want to say it because it's so cringe.
I know.
Oh yeah, this is our third episode, but I hope you guys liked the progression of our setup. Carrie's got a red light behind him.
Yeah.
I have a blue light behind me, and I finally have a frontal light. I had this like big box light, but I couldn't fit the box light like directly in front of me, so I always had like an issue with shadows on my
Yeah, I
face.
have a pretty good setup, but I reset my computer and I'm not recording my audio optimally. So
Right, so we're taking the internet, the
Yeah,
Zoom
so
version of the
we'll
audio.
get all that fixed next week, and yeah, hopefully we'll just keep getting better and better.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
right.
Well, we'll
Well-
see you guys next week. Hopefully, we won't be in World War III next week.
Yeah.
So we can continue this podcast because otherwise, we're going to have to hunker down. They're going to cut off our internet or something like that. I don't know.
Which is apparently Italy. I mean, don't want to drag it on, but apparently Italy has an internet blackout right now. So
Oh my God. That's
hopefully,
crazy.
hopefully we're not next. Hopefully that's some weird glitch or something.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways.
All right.
We will see y'all
Laters,
next week.
everybody.
All right.
Oh, like and comment, subscribe.